there. Hey. Hey, the lady from yesterday, is she up here?
Sí, señor, no, señor.
Mr. Alvarado, you were charged with driving while intoxicated. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you have done. You need to understand that this charge will go on your record after today, and it will be there for the...
Hold up. This is the moment the courtroom tone shifts. The judge is basically saying, this is your final warning. In legal terms, once a conviction like this hits your record, future charges escalate fast. That means prosecutors, judges, and police treat you differently because the system now assumes you've already been warned. Backhand index pointing right question for you watching. If you were in that seat right now, would you risk another mistake knowing the next one could mean mandatory jail time?
From now on, you will be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. So no more slaps on the wrist, as it were. You get pulled over from now on, and you have the slightest smell of alcohol in your breath. An officer sees this DWI. It's probably not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, sir.
Giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You can never take it off.
Notice something important here. The judge is listing constitutional rights one by one: trial, witnesses, cross-examination, appeal. This isn't just courtroom formality. Legally, the court has to make sure the defendant understands they are voluntarily giving up those rights when they plead guilty. If a judge skips this step, the plea can sometimes be challenged later. Balance scale, it's basically the legal version of saying, you understand there's no undo button after this.
Is this what you want to do?
Lo que tienes que hacer es lo que quieres hacer tú. Dice que soy culpable. Soy culpable. I am guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. The other thing is that there is a $3,000 surcharge that tacks onto your license and onto you when you pick up a case like this. I will waive it today. But if you continue to endanger our community, the next time a second offense, it's a $6,000 surcharge. And if you don't pay it, every $100 you owe, you sit 1 day in jail. So get a clue.
Did you catch that financial penalty? A lot of people think DWI punishment is just jail, but the real sting is often financial. Between surcharges, reinstatement fees, insurance spikes, and classes, a single DWI can easily cost thousands of dollars over time. Automobile, the judge's Uber comment might sound casual, but the math is simple. A rideshare costs maybe $1.20. A DWI can cost you thousands and a criminal record.
From now on, if you want to have 32 beers, 52 shots, take an Uber. It's not hard. I am going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, sir.
No, he'll pay for this.
Yeah.
Albert Brown, it's an arraignment and a motion to sub.
All right, come on up. You ready? Bring your client.
Was it first filed today, Council?
Page 6.
Motion to sub, I think we filed it here yesterday. Which had been filed in a while, and it wasn't, I think it just recently.
I think it makes those comments.
It's already attached. Brown?
Yeah. Where it has
I think it's already, Eric already.
Okay, just making sure my notes just said
Good
motion.
morning.
Albert Brown.
I am.
You're facing an assault causing bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail.
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I
think
believe this
that's
is an
me.
interference
I'm
with
sorry.
the public
Right,
service.
I'm looking.
Yeah, and that's not
Yes,
me.
you're right. Interference in the duties of a public servant. 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine.
Quiet!
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On March 11th, 2025, at approximately 1:21 p.m., the officer observed a vehicle speeding at 48 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone, and a temporary tag that came back as expired. As of March 3rd, 2025, a traffic stop was initiated. The defendant stopped in the middle of the road, and the officer signaled for the defendant to pull over to the nearest parking lot. The defendant opened the driver's side door and attempted to step out. She became hostile and then was yelling and cursing. The defendant was giving commands to walk in front of the officer's patrol vehicle. Since the defendant was not complying with commands to get back inside the vehicle, the defendant then walked partially to the back of their car, and the officer detained the defendant and began actively resisting. The defendant was given multiple commands to place their hands behind their back, and the defendant continued to pull away and tense on the officer's attempt to walk them back to the car. The defendant then locked.
This part trips up a lot of people watching court videos. Probable cause doesn't mean the person is guilty. It just means the judge believes there's enough evidence for the case to continue. Think of it like the legal gatekeeper stage. If there's a basic factual foundation, the case moves forward to the next step. Brain, in other words, the court isn't deciding the final outcome yet. It's deciding whether the case deserves to proceed.
Onto the door to prevent the officer from placing handcuffs. The defendant was taken to the ground where they continued to resist. The defendant was tased after giving repetitive commands and not complying. The defendant was then successfully placed into handcuffs, and it was later learned that the defendant had an unloaded firearm in their vehicle and was identified by their Texas driver's license.
Okay, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Can you run the license, please? Make sure it's eligible.
There is no driver's license on file, Your Honor.
Yeah, and I have it eligible. My driver's license is valid.
Unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, you're not allowed to drive. That's a condition of your bond. That's the only condition I'm going to put on you. Just when you get into a pissing match with someone with power of arrest, who's going to win? Don't say anything as a rhetorical question, but really, people have been shot for far less. You got to be careful in this life. You only get one. You know what I mean? Really?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm not, like I said, the only condition is just drive with a license and insurance. You've got lawyers, so they'll take care of you because you have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but just stay in touch with them. They'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court.
Yes,
If
sir.
they tell me if they tell me they can't get a hold of you, if you take off, you pick up a new case, I am going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Just be nice. It's not hard. All right?
Yes, sir.
I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat while I get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you're free to go. Mr. Racines, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail to be probated for 12 months. As part of this agreement, you will do a DWI education class, a no victim impact family, I guess, no? Okay. You will also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. They may assess more conditions, they may assess no other conditions. If they assess further conditions, you must fulfill them. No drugs, no alcohol, guardian interlock, and 20 hours of community service. Substance abuse treatment as recommended by the TRAS. These are the conditions for you to successfully complete this probation. If you complete it, regardless, you need to understand that this DWI is going on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. From now on, you will be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases you pick up. Because this is going on your record, you get caught in a car driving, cop pulls you over, you have the faintest smell of alcohol, they see this DWI. It's probably not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car because you're taking a huge risk. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it goes on your record.
Here's where probation becomes serious business. When someone violates probation, missing classes, failing tests, or getting a new charge, the judge can activate the original jail sentence. That's why you often hear judges say probation is a privilege, not a right. Thinking Face quick question for viewers. Do you think probation actually helps people stay out of trouble, or does it sometimes set them up to fail?
It's going to be there forever. Like I said, you give up this right to appeal. Now, on this probation, no drugs, no alcohol for an entire year. If we find that you're using, if you don't do your community service on time, if you fail to do your class on time, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail and bring you back out, and we're going to have a hearing to determine whether you violated this probation. You're looking at 180 days if you do. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you still want to do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to send you to the agreement. Before we leave, can you run his license to see whether he...
Yes, I can do that right now. It is currently suspended for ALR.
Right. That's what I figured. Your license currently is suspended because of the administrative license revocation hearing. You are not allowed to drive. So if you drove here, you may not drive home. Do you understand? So you're going to have to get someone else to drive the car home for you. Because you don't have a license now, we will require you to obtain a portable device that you're going to take with you to prove to us that you're not consuming alcohol while you're on this probation. So let's make it a condition that he get his license back. Now I'm adding on another condition that you need to get your license back. It's not hard. I think all you have to do is just pay a reinstatement fee.
Okay.
That's it. So it's not difficult, but you need to do that. And if you don't, if you start driving on this probation, you don't have a license, you're looking at 180 days. So don't just drive. You need to ensure that your license is valid with DPS. Once you pay that reinstatement fee, it takes 2 to 3 weeks just to get back in. So don't just start driving once you pay it, because it's not reflected in the system. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck, bud.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right. Thank you, City. Good morning, Mr. Callahan.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 6 days in jail, credit for the 2 days that you've done. This is a plea. It's a plea of guilty. You need to understand this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. It's important because if you get pulled over, officers see this, they come up to your car, they smell alcohol, it's probably not going to go well for you. And what we're doing today, time served, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail after today. Do you understand? It's a true first.
Double check. I believe it is, Your Honor, but I'm running real.
The other thing that you need to understand is that DWI is extremely big business in Texas, meaning that there's a $3,000 surcharge that tacks onto you when you have a case like this. And if you don't pay it, you sit 1 day in jail for every $100 you owe. We all make mistakes, and I'm going to waive that for you today. But if you continue to make the same mistakes where you endanger other people's lives, it just gets so much worse. A second DWI, $6,000 surcharge. Do you understand? All right. We all make mistakes. Just don't make another one. You know what I mean? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this, there's no turning back. It's going to go on your record. Is this what you want to do? All right. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I also have to suspend your license. I will suspend it for the minimum, which is 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, sir. All right. Please see the clerk. You're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 1 day that you've done. You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this, there's no turning back. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll roll your court costs. Mr. Butler.
Hey, Judge.
Judge, how much time should you give for Dina?
3 weeks, whatever she wants.
Unintentional.
You'll make sure I don't like this.
I mean, I will the record, or does it matter? Man?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, Judge, our argument in the writ is that even if there's a detainer, he shouldn't be held in custody over 48 hours. we cite some case law. If the court-
He's on bond.
Bond. Mhm.
So I don't know what I can do to release him. And so when I was going to call the court manager's office, figure out why is he still being held, because he's on bond. Why has immigration why have they not picked them up? And because I'm confused, I'm as much as confused as you.
Who's what you're talking about?
What's the name again?
Martinez? Who?
Martinez.
Because a bench warrant was requested. So Billy called about this one because she was tuning in. And she says that he's here because we bench warrant him here. And that if y'all want him to go back, then we have to do a bench warrant return.
But my question is, and because that's
We
why.
bench warrant people here because people ask him to be bench warranted. We don't do it on our own, right? So someone has to ask us. So someone must have asked for the bench warrant.
I believe it's prior attorney, because we're doing this pro bono because we were helping him with the immigration case,
Okay.
filed the bench warrant. But as
So
far
we
as,
can do a return.
yes, Judge, but as far as I know, like the court stated, he paid the bond, so there's no reason for him to be detained. I have no problem, it's his return. That's fine too. But it's something that it seems to me that lately it's happening more than it should, and that's why we filed that writ.
Lawyers ask us to do with when these things happen. So if someone wants a bond revoked so that they don't go to immigration, we do it. If someone wants to have a bond so they can go to immigration, we do it. I always do what defense lawyers ask with regard to this. So,
And I'm aware of that.
so someone asked them to be brought here. My feeling is so that they could take care of the case before he gets deported. That's what we normally do. So
I believe that was done before we were helping him with his immigration case.
So what we'll do now is we can send him back when he gets back to immigration.
Oh,
That way, guys, you can make the
He already
bond.
has a bond, yeah.
Yeah, and I won't revoke it here. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is that when you do make the bond over there, bring him here so we can do conditions.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll just keep it open until you guys are ready. So just let her know to do the return, and then I don't know how long it'll take to get it back, but
That's why we filed the writ, Judge.
hey Vic, when we do the return to go back there, how long does it take to get him back?
They're here pretty often, so I mean, I'm sure in a week they'll do that.
Yeah, and he should be detained for more than 48 hours, because usually, if not, that's
But
why they're
yes,
released.
but unless there's other circumstances, and when there's an immigration detainer, it's not us that's technically holding him, it's the immigration.
That's why we are in the motion, Judge. If the court could take a look whenever it has a chance, it would
Sure.
be good.
Yeah, but we'll do the return now so that we can just get him back to.
Whatever is fast, that's fine, because
This is the fastest way,
they won't.
Do you want me?
right?
Yes, to send them back, yes.
We can do that. Do you want me to put that application for writ of habeas corpus in queue, the one that he's talking about?
But I don't know, like if I grant it, I mean, it's just.
Can I ask just a favor,
Thank you,
Judge? If the court just, I mean, I think whatever is faster, I'm fine with that, because we already got a bond for him there. But if
I
the court
think
could
what
take,
she's saying is probably the fastest.
but if the court could also, whenever have a chance,
Take
take
a
a
look
look
at
at my motion, okay?
Okay,
And maybe it's
just
just,
let her know and then we'll get it done for you now
thank
today.
you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, Miss Jason.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 21 days in jail with credit for the 7 days that you've done.
Sir.
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you understand,
Yes,
is this what you want to do?
yes,
How do you plead to the offense of criminal trespass, ma'am?
I'm guilty.
I'll find you guilty, sentence you to the agreement. Good luck to you, man.
Don't go back there.
Thanks.
All right. You're good. You done? Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Follow.
Good morning, Mr. Sager.
This right here is one of the most interesting tools in criminal law, deferred adjudication. It's essentially the court saying, we're hitting pause on the conviction. If the defendant completes probation successfully, the conviction is never entered. But if they mess up even once, that suspended sentence comes crashing down. Balance scale, think of it like a legal tightrope, 1 year of perfect behavior, or the full punishment waiting underneath.
So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Essentially, you and the state have not been able to work out an agreement, so you're coming to me for punishment for purposes of this case that you want to end today. Is that right? You need to understand that you give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You're facing 180 days in jail. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, the right to be arraigned, charged with in open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeals. So whatever happens today happens, and that's it. There's no turning around and trying to change your mind. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm a firm believer that everybody deserves a chance. Really. But the problem is we have people that we give them chances. It continues to happen over and over and over. And that's what we are trying to prevent from happening with you, Mr. Sager. You know, we all make mistakes, but the problem is that when you make a mistake where you endanger someone's life, you have to take notice. And when you don't, and when it continues to happen, if it continues to happen, the sentences get longer. The costs become bigger, especially with the DWI. Now you're facing, like I said, the 6 months. Your lawyer's asking me to set you for a deferred, which is a type of probation that if you complete, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. I will do this for you today. I will set you on a 1-year deferred. I'm going to sentence you to 180 days in jail, and I will not find you guilty, and I will put you on this deferred for a year. However, you will be required to satisfy conditions. If you do, fantastic, you will not end up with a conviction on your record. But you need to understand something. For all intents and purposes, if you're pulled over, an officer's going to see this. They're not going to give a rat's behind whether it's a deferred, whether it's a conviction, whether it's a dismissal. If they see that you have a prior DWI and they smell alcohol on you, it's probably not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm trying to say is that even if you have half a beer, a sip of something, don't get into a car because it's a huge risk. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So it is a 180-day, 1-year deferred. You will maintain a guardian interlock while you're on this deferred. You will do a DWI education class, a victim impact panel. Do you have children? We will do a parenting class in lieu of community service.
Sure.
No drugs, alcohol. You will do what's called a TRAS to see if you need other conditions. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill those conditions. No breath test refusal, meaning that if you're pulled over in a car, an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it while you're on this probation. If you don't, you're in violation. If you violate this probation, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. We will have a hearing to see if you violated this. And as you see all the people that came out, you're going to be dressed in orange. We're going to bring you back out. We're going to have a hearing to see if you violated. If you do, or if you did, you're looking at 180 days. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind running his license to see if it's eligible, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't forget anything, did I? That's about it. So the only other thing I'd like to know now is whether your license is eligible or not. Because if it's not eligible, I'm going to order you not to drive and we'll give you a portable device. You're not allowed to drive unless you have a valid license and liability insurance in your name. You must maintain car insurance while you're on this probation. You must give them proof so that we know that you're driving legally.
It's eligible.
Wonderful. Okay. I'm not going to suspend your license now, so you can continue to drive, but you must get an interlock within 7 days. Do you understand?
7 days?
Correct. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
No, sir, not at this time.
And the only other thing that I'm going to impart to you now is that DWI is huge business in Texas. There is a $3,000 surcharge. Is this a 0.15 or above? It is.
It is, yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above? Oh, well, I guess you didn't. It's not pled as such, right? Okay. So the reason I'm trying to tell you is that there's a $3,000 surcharge that tags onto you when you pick up one of these types of cases. I'm going to waive it for you now. But on a second DWI, it's a $6,000 surcharge. And if you don't pay it, Every $100 you owe, you sit 1 day in jail. And I routinely put it on seconds. So beware. It's going to cost you a pretty penny. You pick up another one, not to mention a minimum of 30 days. Well, there's no minimum because deferred. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Thanks. All right. Good job. Good job. I'm proud of you. Hey,
I'm very happy, Your Honor.
wonderful.
So you.
He's been clean. I mean, it sounds like he hasn't been using for a while. So,
Hey,
the state, I think once one more reset, discovery's complete. He has the pending felony. That's reset till like May 21st.
that's a little far.
I
And
understand.
I know that one upstairs will probably swallow this one regardless. So I guess let's give 30 days, see whatever. Hopefully you're still here. But if you can put a note in the system, you know,
Yeah, I don't know if they're just, because it's not the same transaction, but there are
no, I
kind of the same, it's the same complaining witnesses. And the felony
this
predates
is
this.
the neighbor stuff, right?
Yes. Right. So the felony predates this case, but it was filed afterwards, and it's the same complaining witnesses. But
That's what I mean. They're somewhat connected.
yeah, I mean,
They're not same transaction.
Discovery's complete upstairs too?
I think so.
Yes, Judge.
For the record, I do hope I'm still here. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's do 30 days and then we'll
Okay.
see. Come back. Hopefully everything will.
Do we have a required setting or appearance wait?
What do you think? What do you want?
He's been in good contact with me,
Come up, Miss Alexander. I'll waive it,
Okay.
but I'm gonna test him at least one more time. Let him know. This is not to. You're doing good, man. You're doing good. You're in the home stretch. Okay, just keep it up. I'm gonna test you at least one more time. Don't use. Just stay. Keep your nose out of trouble, and all's gonna go well. You're in the home stretch. Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
I'll waive it for the next one.
Okay. And then if it's,
But he's gonna get called at some point.
I understand.
Okay.
I'll
All right, guys. Good luck, Miss Alexander. And the weapon's gonna be forfeited, right? Okay. Mr. Melendez, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you've done. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, this is going on your record. You need to understand that from now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Anything. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
No more slaps on the wrist. It's a minimum 90 days. So if you're running with knuckleheads, get ready. When you hang with dogs, you get fleas. As part of the agreement, the weapon is going to be forfeited. You will not get it back. Do you understand? How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty and I'm going to follow the agreement. Good luck, Mr. Mullins.
Okay, Judge.
Thanks.
See you.
You too.